Hello, this is Brother Benson, and we are here. And this might be our last show again this year. So, may I take this opportunity to welcome my two brothers uh, to say a word or two before the year 2024. Mr. Miguda, what can you say?
Hello, Brother Benson. Thank you for this opportunity for hosting us for the last show for this year. I would like just to wish our viewers Happy New Year because they have just celebrated Merry Christmas, and also to encourage them to continue viewing and also to share, subscribe, like, and we also urge them to bring more people to the show so that we can conclusively discuss the affairs of our country, and we link with the cultural related issues with our Kenyan culture. Thank you so much.
Miguda.
Yes.
Oh, Makobura, sorry.
Okay. Thank you. I want to take this opportunity to wish Kenyans and our viewers Happy New Year, and we pray that God may make this year that we are almost getting into a successful year, a year full of prosperity. That is our wish as people. Again, we also pray that God may give us the grace to always be there for one another so that we may help each other as a citizen of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, brothers, for those encouraging words. Today, we just want to look at the life or history of Her Excellency Martha Karua, especially when it comes to the political stance that sometimes she usually takes. So maybe Makobura, if you can just give us a brief history of Her Excellency.
Okay. One Martha Wangari Karua, born on 22nd September 1957. She is a Kenyan politician. Again, we'd say that she's a former long-standing member of parliament for Gichugu constituency. She's an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. She was Minister for Justice until resigning from that position in April 2009. She has consistently fought for the protection of women's rights and improvement to the democratic process. Karua ran for presidency in 2013 under the NARC Kenya ticket, making her the third woman to run for the highest office after Charity Ngilu and Wangari Maathai in the 1997 election. She emerged sixth in the race. She was picked to run for the deputy president after being nominated as the running mate of presidential candidate Raila Amolo Odinga in the year 2022 Kenyan general election. I think that's a brief biography about Her Excellency Martha Karua.
Okay, thank you. Before I bring Miguda in, the reason why I want us to kind of like have a brief discussion about Martha Karua, because Her Excellency, there are some stands that she has taken in her political life that when you look at some other politicians, has never, some other politicians have never made those stands. And maybe on the briefing that you've just gave, I can also give few incidences that I've picked that Martha Karua, Her Excellency, has differed or has stood with her principality, her principalness. So this in 1990 to 1992, she joined Kenneth Matiba in Fodasili. That was in September 1992. She walked out of the party elections, and which she felt um, was compromised. Yeah, so the same year she joined Democratic Party, that is DP. That was for um, the late President Mwai Kibaki, and she won the party ticket, and she proceeded to win the Gishugu constituency as a member of parliament in December against the incumbent. So you see that. Then in 1998, there was a bill that was brought in parliament, and this bill was a constitutional review bill, was tabled in parliament. Entire opposition members of parliament walked out, and she chose to stay um, and register her displeasure. And when she was asked the reason why she chose to stay, she said like she wanted her displeasure to be recorded in parliament, the handset, so which she did. And if you look at that bill, even the civil servants, I mean, civil societies were not in agreement with it. So that is another area that Her Excellency, you know, made her stand. And it's also in 1998, you remember, she was the constitutional, the constitutional it was in 1998, that was no, it was 2001, yeah, that she walked out of Moi, President Moi, in her constituency when President Moi was making his speech. And when she walked out, she was waving, and waving the DP sign. So if you remember very well in the history, the regime of Moi administration was very brutal, especially to critics. And this is Her Excellency Martha Karua walking out of Moi just because she felt that the opposition leaders who were there were disrespected by the junior members, um, especially the cronies of President Moi. So that is another extraordinary step that she took, that, she's not a sycophant. Another area that she also took a stand was in 2009. And if you remember, 2009, she before that she was appointed to be the Justice and Constitutional Affair Minister. And if you remember, this ministry, she was appointed maybe after the election violence in 2007, when we were having the Grand Coalition government. And in that year, she resigned on April 6th, yeah, the same year, just because the late President Mwai Kibaki did not consult her when he appointed the judges, because that was falling under her docket, and she felt that was not how it should go. Now, I think one of the things she said, she cannot be paid yet she's not working. And actually, she was persuaded by some of the members, especially like Honorable Beth Mugo, really persuaded her not to resign. But she went ahead and did the same. And lastly, is about the NADCO report. As you are aware, she had the interview with Citizen TV, and she registered her displeasure. So, based on those incidences that I've picked out, um, do you think if they don't agree, or she feels like the NADCO report uh, is going to be accepted by other principal members of Azimio, do you think she will walk out or no? So that is the reason why I felt it very wise. So if we can look at her political stand in some of the issues, so maybe before we go on, let me invite Migoda to say something about Her Excellency.
Thank you, Brother Benson. I'd like to briefly talk about Her Excellency or NAC leader, Martha Karua. Martha Karua, the first woman to go to LegCo, but that time Parliament was Grace. the first Kisumu woman to be mayor. So Martha Karua, being a woman in her capacity, she has tried defending the rule of law, constitutionalism, and also defending human rights and also the principles of the rule of law. Martha Karua is one woman who has served in the all arms of government. First, she came as the magistrate. She has worked as a magistrate in the Republic of Kenya, and so she has served in parliament as member of Gishu constituency. She also served in the cabinet, that is executive, as minister for the constitutional affairs and justice. So, with all her progress in the political limelight or in the arms of government, at least she has been on the side of the human. She has been defending the human rights, and so she has been defending the rule of law, the principle of the rule of law. So I would like to state that despite her being a woman of principle, there are also some uh, challenges or some drawbacks we can draw from her. Because I remember in 2008 or so, 2007, during the swearing in of Mwai Kibaki, she's the one who said that Mwai Kibaki should be sworn in. And yet, people have not understand who won the election. Again, 2013, she defended Uhuru Kenyatta by supporting him and said that Kibaki should retire with Raila. So I think the fact that she's a woman of principle, there are some circumstances whereby she can
Mhm.
change her mind. So we will even disagree with the article report. We can just give a benefit of doubt, but it doesn't mean that she can walk out. Yeah.
Yes, Makobura.
Yes, if I try to dig uh, the life of one High Excellency Mother Karua, I think it is right to say that she is one of those women, Kenya women, who has really stood for the rights of the people. She has really fought for democracy. Uh, I think where the likes of His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, James Orengo, those politicians who really fought for this democracy. Whenever we are mentioning the likes of Raila and his allies who fought very tough for this democracy that we currently have, we should not forget to mention Martha Karua, because this is a woman. And remember, those days being a woman, it wasn't very easy for a woman to express herself, because even in this time when she differed with the president, and remember, Moi was a king. Moi was someone that if you try to go against by those days, then you'll not even sleep at your home. And this tough woman walked away from him, and she said very well that as much as Moi is the president, he must recognize uh, the fact that he was in her constituency, and for that reason, she had to be given time to also hear her views. It was so unfortunate because she wasn't from Moi's political party, and so the president decided that he would not be given that opportunity. And remember, Moi also said that kuna huyu mama ambaye anajifanya fanya hapa. And in the culture of Africa, Moi clearly stated that a woman should not try to sway herself in front of men. That clearly tells you that women really went through a lot. And Martha Karua really stood firm. She showed the way for ladies or women who wanted to get into politics, that once you get into politics, you have to be tough for you to survive. This is a woman who has really stood very firm, especially when it comes to fighting for the rights of people. Remember, he has even differed with with presidents. He differed with Moi, he differed with Kibaki. Whenever she felt that the rights of people or her rights are not really being respected, she always do something that really tells us who she is. And in my opinion, I would really say that Martha Karua she's a good politician. And these are the kind of leaders that, if suppose I would convince Kenyans,
Mhm.
then she's one of those people that I would always tell Kenyan that we should always give her time.
Mm.
We should listen to her when she wants to get into some political space. I think she needs our support as a people, because she has shown that she would really stand for the rights of the people.
Oh, okay, that's good. Mr. Miguda talked about 207, and I think that's when like most of the young people came to know of Martha Karua, especially after the disputed election in 207, right? Based on how she reacted at KICC, when then it was the ODM, where the ODM, the camp of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga, where Ruto, the current president, was, yeah, and that is also the time I think many people came to know that Ruto exists, because like how he participated, I would say, during that time when Kivitu was just about to announce the election. He was very vocal. So, and that is also when Martha too was very vocal, right? The 207. Yeah. So that is when I think the majority of Kenyans, the younger Kenyans, not the old then, but the younger Kenyans came to know that there's a lady called Martha Karua. So Martha Karua, she's one person. Hate her or like her, she has her own way of thinking. Where if she feels like this is the right way, that is what she will do. Then you also talked about him supporting uh, President President Uhuru Kenyatta, uh, saying that Raila and Kibaki should go home. Those are some other scenarios. So I don't know what informed her decision, so that to support Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know whether the tribal card was playing part, but I don't think she's such one person who can play a tribal card. What do you think informed her decision to support His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta then in 2013? Migude.
I will just say, Martha Karua, at times, the tribal politics play major role in our Kenyan politics. And even Martha Karua admitted in recent interview that tribes matter. You must go to your people and explain to them why you are their leader. So in 2007, she defended Mwai Kibaki, and Mwai Kibaki was sworn in as the president. Similarly, in 2013, she opposed Raila Odinga, and also Uhuru was sworn in. But I will disagree with Martha Karua that indeed she's also a tribal person like other leaders. We can't just give her credit that she's principled, she's so and so, and we ignore the tribal part of it. Because remember the 2017 election when Martha Karua was running for the Kirinyaga gubernatorial race, she exhausted a case even to the East African Court of Justice, but she did not get justice. But again, when Raila was also running the previous election, that 2022, when she was the running mate for Raila now, and at the Supreme Court of Kenya, the results were declared, they upheld the Ruto's elections. Martha Karua moved to the East African Court of Justice again to go and understand the principle of the rule of law in East Africa Court of Justice. So you see, whenever she's having interest, she can exhaust a case to the highest apex court. You can even go to the International Court of Justice. You see, but whenever she's those sides, she do not exhaust, like the case of Moi Kibaki, because during the 2007 election, people lost their lives, property were destroyed, yeah, and people were taken to ICC. So she ought to be also uh, vigilant to the rule of law in 2007, like in 2013. So I would just like to conclude by saying the tribal card still plays a major role in Kenyan politics. When it is on your tribe or it is on your self-interest, you can do
Mm.
anything to get it. So Martha Karua is not an exception. It's one of the politicians in this country.
Marco Bora, what do you say?
It is a fact that we should also accept the fact that Kenyan politics is tribal based. And it is true that every tribe, no matter they were in whatever capacity, whenever they want to come, go, or get into political space, they will always go back to their tribal background and try to mobilize so that they get support from the tribal base first. So it is, I would say it's a normal thing in Kenya and maybe in Africa because Martha Karua standing with the people, I don't really think it's a bad thing. But the only bad thing I would say I might maybe have seen is sometimes she defends her people to an extent that she forgets that other people also were hurt in one way or another. So, but we should also accept the fact that she has always stood for human rights, not only uh, for the people of Mount Kenya, where she's coming from, but for the rights of human beings across the country. And for that reason, in 1991, she was even recognized by Human Rights Watch as a human rights monitor. Again, remember, she's been an activist for quite some time. They're the people who has always stood fighting for the rights of people. And in December 1995, she was even awarded by the Federation of Kenya Women Lawyers, that is FEDA, for advancing the cause for women. She's always stood supporting the women since she's a lawyer. She understands the right of women, and she has been uh, taking that advantage by trying to educate women. She has mentored so many women who later on became politicians. There are so many women who are currently in politics, courtesy of the hard stance that she took. Uh, Again, she was even awarded by the Law Society, I remember, for having been a legal practitioner diligence award. So all this, I'm just saying that she has her own weaknesses. Yes, we accept that fact, but she has good political character. Her political style is one that every person would admire, and she has also shown that whenever corruption is involved, if if the people around her cannot justify that kind of corruption that is happening around,
Mm.
she will always resign since she has her own stance. She doesn't want to be part and parcel of the bad things, and that is a good thing that any leader should always have, because if she, as a minister, during this Kibaki government, that was around 2009, after the 2007, when she was the justice minister for justice. Remember, as a minister, when the president wanted to involve himself or to appoint the judges, she, as a minister, because that falls into her docket, she was not consulted. And remember, she got mad, and as a minister, that really falls under her docket. She felt that she was receiving a salary but not really advising the president appropriately. So currently, since 2013, if we look at the government of His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and even the government of His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, we've seen so many ministers corruption is happening under their docket. Sometimes they're not even being consulted when things are being done under their docket. The other day, you saw there was a power angle between the Attorney General and Mr. Kosgei. This tells you that if the Attorney General was someone who had good political characters, he would come and then tell the people that this is what I'm going through. I'm being
Mm,
paid this money by the public, but I'm
mhm.
not being consulted. So having a character same as this of Karua, this is someone who would make a good politician, and she's someone who should be trusted.
Okay. Maybe before we compare the character of Martha Karua, or like that integrity personality that she has, um, when you listened, I hope you had an opportunity to listen to her interview with the Citizen, and the things that she was raising, or the things that she was saying, they were very valid, and they made sense if you take your time to listen to it. And the same time she was having that interview, I think the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga also had interview with the same media station. If you compare both interviews, what 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 is your view, or what conclusion do you make from the two interviews, from the Azimio flag, who was a flag bearer, and the running mate, having different opinions on the NADCO report? What is your take?
Or my take on the interview, the two interviews of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and NAC leader Martha Karua. I can say that Martha Karua is consistent in the interviews if you compare the two. The girl or the NAC leader, she's very consistent. Raila, in his interview, he admitted that the report is out. They're having 5 issues as the Azimio people, but they have gotten 4. So the one which they have not gotten, they will get in some days. But for now, he is satisfied with the 4 which they have gotten from the report. But you can see Martha Karua, NAC leader, she's very consistent that if those issues are not all exhausted, there's no way she will agree with that report. That's why she display her dissatisfaction on the report. You see, Martha Karua believe in the defense of the human rights. That's why I say that she is consistent. She also believe in the principle of the rule of law. That's why she said that she does not recognize William Ruto as the president based on the process of the Supreme Court ruling. But she understands that there's a presidency office, somebody's holding it. But
Mm.
she doesn't recognize William Ruto. And William Ruto sworn in to defend the constitution, but instead is violating the constitution. Martha Karua also said that in terms of multi-party democracy was not discussed in the medical report. Electoral justice, the forensic audit of the IBC servers, and also the inclusivity, the recruitment of the IBC commissioners were not discussed. So, in my own view, I will give Martha Karua a a higher percentage compared to Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is not consistent of late concerning the NARCO report, but Martha Karua is very consistent, and that's why you see her interview was more popular than Odinga's interview. Yeah.
Makobura, what do you
If
say?
if I would also accept the fact that Martha Karua is one consistent politician. I remember when this NATCO report was being produced, I remember she tweeted, and these were her words, and I quote, "I find the NATCO report troubling, problematic, and unacceptable. A more detailed statement loading in the coming weeks," end of quote. This was immediately after this NATCO report was produced. And again on November, she also said that, and I quote, "Any purported agreement that does not immediately impact on the cost of living, electoral justice, respect for multi-party democracy is a fraud on the people and must be rejected. End of quote. From the statement that she has been giving out, this tells us that this is a very consistent person. Remember, the people of Kenya went for Mandamano because there was a high cost of living in the Republic of Kenya. We are still experiencing that now, up to now, and it is still escalating. It is even getting higher. And again, the main reason why people went for Mandamano was because there was an electoral justice, because there has been issue about the general election, the 2023 general election, and so many people feel that there was an electoral injustice. And again, the main reason why people went for Mandamano was because they felt there was no respect for the multi-party democracy. And this is the reason why people felt this. Remember, immediately His Excellency William Samoei Ruto got into power,
Mhm.
there are so many opposition member of parliament who shifted from Azimio and went to KK. This is a fight, and this shows that there was a clear disrespect for multi-party democracy. If we look at the lifestyle of one Martha Karua, these are the things that she has been fighting for ever since she got into power. And this clearly tells us how consistent she is when it comes to fighting for the rights of people. Rights of people means fighting for the cost of living to be lowered. Fighting
Mhm.
for the rights of people means fighting for electoral injustices. It is not
Mhm.
fair in any country that people goes for a free and fair election, but then the outcome of the election becomes something that is being decided by a group of people. This woman has been very consistent and she's saying, no, we cannot go this way. We have to fight for this. These are the things she fought even in 19, in those years when she was even uh, walking away, uh, when she walked away when Moy was at his constituency. She felt that she was being disrespected. Why would a president come into your constituency? You are present there, and you cannot even be. You will not even be given an opportunity to address your people. Just because you are from another party, it doesn't mean that you should be disrespected. And this is one thing that I like about this woman, Her Excellency Martha Wangari Karua.
Okay. Let me just give you a brief history. I don't know whether you know about this. There was a time immediately after the death of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Ajoma, and there was a tussle between the Right Honorable Prime Minister and Kijana Wamalwa over Ford Kenya. And what happened to remember was Raila decided, because he was elected as a member of parliament for Langata under the Ford Kenya. It was Ford Kenya. So he felt dissatisfied on how the Ford Kenya was being run, maybe by Kijana Wamalwa. So he resigned and went to seek mandate of the people of Langata through LDP, you know, and he won. Raila won and came back to parliament. And the reason why I'm bringing this about the fidelity of members of parliament on their political parties. Because if you feel like in your party you disagree in views or in ideology, the best thing to do is to go and seek mandate from the people so that you can come back to the parliament. But when you look at the NADCO report, you know, the NADCO report is kind of like still wants to put law that say that there should be fidelity in our political party. Yet, this is something that even His Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, knows very well, and he did it. Is a perfect example. So why then should we put a law to reward people who are not uh, people are not kind of like being very faithful to their political parties, that you have to put a law like what the NADCO report is doing, yet they know very well that they are they're not doing what is very right. Again, when you look at the NADCO report, it's talk about the fidelity of not political parties, but of coalition. You know, it's coalition, not a political party. So the member of coalition and this, and if you see, if you're very keen enough to look at the coalitions in our country, especially the coalition is one of the things that has weakened our political parties. If I might not be very wrong, the reason why I'm saying that, because in coalition we don't stand with our ideology. For example, the enemy will become your friend and your friend will become an enemy. And for instance, I want to give you example. When you look at Jubilee then and later came and worked with ODM, if you look at their ideology, what they stand for, what ODM stood for, and what the Jubilee then stood for, you know, they they have different ideologies, yeah. But because our politics is power centered, you will you will find coming together. Look at his Excellency Musalia Mudavadi. If you go to clips about Musalia Mudavadi talking about the bottom up, you know, and now is the same person now defending the bottom up, you know. So it tells you. So how can we, such like we know very well what is happening, that it's all about getting power, yet we still want to put it like we should be very, very, very loyal to those political or coalition pact, yet things change with election. What would be your take, Miguda?
Responding on the fidelity of the political parties, I believe that we should strengthen our political parties, or more so the Political Parties Act. Why? We have a very dark history with the political party in this country. Remember, Kenya is one country whereby we had a one-party state. It was a one-party state that was KANU. And the people fought for multi-party democracy. And it was incorporated in the Constitution of Kenya 2010 that Kenya being a republic is a multi-party democracy republic. It is made up of many parties. Why? First, we are diverse. We are coming from different tribal classes. We are coming from different religion. And for that fact, people can have different ideologies. And if my ideology, you might not like my ideology, or they're not similar, I have that political right, which is also in the Bill of Rights, in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. I have that political choice. I can choose and I can also associate with any person, any political party which I like to. But we should strengthen the political party. Why am I saying so? Remember, when you quote Odinga, Odinga went to Langata after resigning to seek fresh elections. So if you don't believe in the ideology of the party that has sponsored you to parliament, I think we should come out with a law. I like Moi time than Ruto's time in terms of political parties. Because Moi was very clear that if you don't agree with my ideology, resign, go back to the people. Because my ideology might resonate with the people by that time. But look at Ruto operating under 2010 constitution, where we have multiple democracy. Again, we have the political rights. Ruto is party, the order, KK, are the one after elections, they are taking other people from other political party to their side for them to win seats like Senate, Speaker of the National Assembly, also to when the bills come to Parliament, they can have majority so that their bills can pass. That is very wrong.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you. Who should be blamed? Because this is okay. I know everybody is wrong. The president was wrong by luring other members of parliament to come to his side. But what about the members of parliament too? They're wrong. Because when I'm vying for a political party, or if I know I'm a member, for instance, I'm a member of ODM, I know what ODM stands for, and I know if I start to push the agenda of another political party, there, the next thing that I should do, I should resign and go seek the mandate of the people and come and push the agenda of the political party that I feel I'm comfortable with. But the members are doing it knowing very well that we are wrong. Yeah, that because they know the processes at our judiciary usually takes long, and you can even hear, you can even get information from the ground, say okay, tutaenda kotini na itamaliza miaka tano by the time imeisha. So who should we blame? As much as we might say that the president
not,
did.
I'm not blaming anyone. What I'm saying,
Yeah.
I'm simply saying that the Political Parties Act should be reviewed, and there should be a law that if you are dissatisfied with the party that has sponsored you to any of this position, you resign and seek fresh mandate from the people. So
But the law is
that's why
there.
in the narco report, but no, it's a long, it takes long.
Allow me to say this.
Let me finish. The process of for you to go back to the people and seek fresh mandates, there's a political parties tribunal. They have to go and sit. The political parties disciplinary committee must call that member of parliament. So that's why I say it should be reviewed to an extent that it is whenever a member cross over for that political party, he or she should just seek direct money from the people. That's why in the NARCO report, the proposal by the Azimio team, they were proposing on the Political Parties Act to review that clause so that you can go direct with it. But it was not included in the report, final report. That's why Martha Karua was against one of the reasons why Martha Karua was against the report. Yeah.
Okay.
May think the people of Kenya should be blamed for not really being firm when it comes to electing people who are politicians who are relevant, politicians who believe in what they're doing. If we try, for example, in this government of His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, remember William Samoei Ruto, when we were getting this 2010 constitution, he was on the other side. He opposed this. Constitution. It is clear what were the people of Kenya expecting? This is someone who opposed this constitution. How was he going to ensure that this constitution is followed? If one William Samoei Ruto is the same guy who opposed this constitution, were we really expecting that he would respect the constitution? Were we really expecting that he would respect the evolution? Were we really going to expect him to respect the political acts? It wasn't. This is something that this is a mistake that we made as the people of Kenya, because we gave one William Samoei Ruto an opportunity to lead us, but remember, he didn't believe in this constitution. So our expectation, we shouldn't have high expectations, because already from the acts of the president we have, he had shown that he didn't believe in this.
And because, like, if even if you look at the Kenya constitution, there are some privileges that the mwananchi should take advantage of, but especially when it comes to recall of the members of parliament. And the funny part of it is, the people who will discuss on how, or to after the recall, the people who will discuss on how to dismiss this member of parliament should be in the parliament. But do you think parliament itself, the members of parliament, can allow one of them to leave the job? Because this is a job, this is where you earn your salary, and say, okay, now so and so has been recalled by his people, let's do the due diligence on the constitution, because it also gives you, like, almost, I don't know how many years before you do the recall and the process itself. So so such like areas, those are the areas that now Kenyans should take advantage of, and maybe interrogate and say, how can we make it so possible in the shortest way possible, if we feel we are not satisfied with our members of parliament, yeah, and recall in a situation what happened with the members crossing over to especially from the Azimio coalition to work with the Kenya Kwanza, you know, and when they were crossing over, they they knew, and like even from the way sometimes they talk when they are asked questions, they're very confident because they know how the process works, because it will take years and years uh, before the judgment uh, of the case, maybe if it's taken to the tribunal and everything takes, so they're taking advantage of those areas. So I think as we look into it, or as the NADCO report is pointing at it, even as the citizens also, those are some of the things that we should start to question and say, like, how could we make it possible that these leaders are answerable to us? I don't know if I might be wrong. Hello. We are very sorry. Our panelists just decided to disappear. But anyway, I'm so much grateful for my panelists. I think there's a problem with the internet, but if I might say, I know Her Excellency Martha Karua, whom we were discussing about, has had her stand, and I think some of the stand she has made um, should be like some other leaders should also take the same stance. Especially when you look at even the leaders in government right now. If you are involved in corruption, or if you're not performing well, yeah, you should quit, because you'll be earning money and you're not working. So may I take this opportunity now to close the show? And I know I don't know what happened to my my panelists. I don't know. They just decided to disappear like that. Uh, but anyway, I want to thank everybody who has been supporting this channel, and I would request and come kindly requesting, if you're a member in this channel, please invite friends so we can have discussion. And as I said earlier, on Thursday, we will be having a member of UDA, or for a member of Kenya Kwanza, just to ask him and to know uh, how government is doing. Yeah. Oh, Miguda, what happened? Oh, what is happening? You're not coming in. Okay. I think there's a problem, maybe with the net or something that is, I don't understand. So, as I was saying earlier, we will be having a member of, we will be having somebody from UDA. It's called Honorable Kennedy Ondiek. We will interrogate him to tell us more about what government has done, about the economic model. So, with those few remarks, thank you so much, and may I see you on Thursday, and may I wish you happy 2024 year. Thank you so much, and may God bless you.